Je m'appelle Francis Carpadeggia et je présiderai cette séance plénière sur la Constitution et les règlements. Je suis accompagné des nouveaux conseillers constitutionnels et juridiques du parti, Maître Prachi Shah et Maître Michael Fenrick. With me on stage are Prachi Shah and Michael Fenrick, the party's newly appointed constitutional and legal advisors. The business of this session is to consider 10 party bylaws that have been adopted by the National Board. But before we get into each of the bylaws, I would like to invite the president of our party, Anna Gainey, who is taking part in her last official function as our president, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Anna for her leadership these past few years, which were such important years in our transition to government. Merci, Anna. Alors, à vous la parole.
Merci. Oh, est-ce que ça marche? Oui, vous m'entendez? So, a reminder, 2016, when we last gathered at a convention in Winnipeg, we adopted a new constitution. And this constitution was put forward in an effort to make our party more streamlined, more responsive, and more campaign-focused as an organization. So the Constitution creates the overall structure of our party, and it doesn't go into a lot of detail on the operations. So as part of the transition over the last couple of years, what your national board has been working on are the bylaws that do govern the operations of our party. So there are 10 bylaws that we adopted as a board in 2016, I believe in December, and they came into effect in 2017. So what we need to do here is ratify at a convention these bylaws. So that's what we are here to do today, this afternoon, and I think that's it, isn't it, Francis? We're all set. Everyone's ready to go on this? Thank you. Okay. I'll go. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, Anna. I will take a moment to review the procedures of this plenary. The rules have been circulated on the convention website, and I'm sure you've all read them. We will consider each bylaw independently. Each bylaw has been duly moved and seconded. Nous allons examiner chaque règlement séparément. Chaque règlement a été dûment proposé et appuyé. I will announce which bylaw we are considering and allow one authorized representative of the sponsor to speak to the resolution for up to 2 minutes to clarify the proposal. If needed, I will allow the constitutional and legal advisors to give any further clarification. Après la présentation du représentant autorisé du parrain, les conseillers constitutionnels et juridiques pourront donner plus d'explications. Je vous demanderai ensuite si un débat devrait être tenu sur la résolution. Si vous souhaitez qu'un débat ait lieu, vous devrez lever vos cartons de vote rouge. At this point, I will ask if we should have a debate on the resolution. If you wish to hold a debate, raise your red voting card. If 50 eligible attendees indicate they wish a debate, there will be a debate. Otherwise, we will proceed immediately to a vote. If there is a debate, I will recognize speakers alternating between those in favor and those opposed. I will limit the number of speakers to 2 in favor and 2 opposed to the resolution. Those in favor must present themselves to the microphone set up in the aisle to the left-hand side of the stage, microphone number 2, which is on my right here. Ceux qui sont pour doivent se présenter au micro dans l'allée à la gauche de la scène, le micro numéro 2 qui est à ma droite. Those opposed must go to the microphone in the aisle on your right, my left, which is microphone number 3. When you come to the microphone, please give your name and electoral district, club, commission, or other affiliation or status. Quand votre tour au micro est venu, veuillez indiquer votre nom et votre circonscription, votre club, commission ou autre affiliation ou statut. Only eligible registrants will be recognized and may only speak once to any resolution. Speakers will be allowed up to 1 minute each. I will strictly enforce the time limits. Amendments to the proposed bylaws are not permitted except in accordance with rule number 10. In accordance with that rule, I have not received any amendments, so there will be no amendments discussed, no amendments to the bylaws discussed. Nous allons maintenant passer à l'examen des règlements selon leur ordre de numéro. So we're starting with bylaw number 1 on commissions. I invite Rhonda Evans, the authorized representative of the sponsor, to come to the microphone and speak to the motion to adopt this bylaw. You have up to 2 minutes to explain or clarify this resolution.
My name is Rhonda Evans, and I'm from the riding of Ajax. I'm also the outgoing vice chair of the organization and membership of the Indigenous Peoples Commissions. It's my pleasure to introduce bylaw number 1, commissions. This bylaw outlines the skeleton of a commission but allows each commission to maintain its unique identity through charters. The core of the bylaw is quite simple. The National Board may establish a commission to provide a forum for engagement and representation of a demographic group of registered Liberals. Each commission will have a national executive and may determine the rest of its structure, how it will organize regional sections and clubs. Having a single commission's bylaw does not mean that the commissions are expected to operate in the same way. The commission's bylaw will include a charter of each of the commissions. A charter is a separate document for each commission attached to the bylaw as a schedule. This allows each commission to continue to operate in its unique structure and identity. The process of forming each charter involved effort by each commission to outreach, formulate, introduce, and implement their new structures, a task for which each commission should be commended. I want to underline how important this is, especially for the Indigenous Peoples Commission. Each commission is different, and I'm very happy that the commission's bylaw reflects this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I need to see 50 voting cards in favor of a debate if we are to have a debate. So who would like to see a debate on this bylaw? Please raise your voting card. Well, I think it's clear that we will be going straight to the vote. So I would ask all those in favor of the bylaw to please raise your red voting card. All those, thank you. And all those against, please raise your voting card. The bylaw carries. Nous allons maintenant examiner le règlement numéro 2 sur les associations de circonscription. J'invite Sébastien Fazier, le représentant autorisé du parrain de la résolution, à s'approcher du micro pour parler de la motion portant sur l'adoption de ce règlement. Allez-y. Ah, le micro fonctionne. The mic is not working. The mic on the right, mic number 2 is not working.
Want me to?
Yeah,
okay.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. Bonsoir tout le monde. Mon nom est Sébastien Fassier. Je suis de Laurier-Sainte-Marie et également vice-président du Parti libéral du Canada. Coming from Laurier-Sainte-Marie, I'm a VP of the party. That's at least for the next 15 minutes or so. Immédiatement après le congrès de Winnipeg, le Conseil national d'administration a créé des groupes de travail pour chacun des règlements et j'ai eu le privilège de coprésider le groupe de travail sur les règlements sur les associations de circonscription avec notre vice-présidente anglophone et nouvelle présidente Susan Cohen. Ce groupe de travail était composé de libéraux de partout au pays, de tous les horizons, des présidents d'ADC, des membres de conseils provinciaux, territoriaux et de militants. Les membres du groupe ont discuté des rouages des associations de circonscription de manière approfondie. Nous avons mobilisé et écouté les libéraux de partout au moyen de sondages en ligne, de forums, de commentaires, etc. Our challenge was to create a bylaw that would provide a consistent framework for EDAs everywhere, while recognizing, obviously, the vast differences across the country. Consistency is important. It makes it easier for registered Liberals to get involved, regardless of where they live, and it also allows us to spend less time talking about structure and more time focusing on campaigning and supporting our candidates. With that in mind, the bylaw allows for a lot of flexibility. EDAs can create as many non-voting positions as desired. General meetings can be scheduled anywhere between 1 to 2 years from the last one. Committees can be created with any numbers of voting members to address the unique needs of its ridings. It's also important to understand that ratifying this bylaw today does not mean the end of our conversation. A bylaw can continuously be discussed and amended to address changing needs. Earlier this year, the National Board amended the EDA bylaw to allow for more nominations from the floor in vacant positions at an EDA general meeting. And this is a great change. It allows for more people to get involved if they missed the original deadline to stand for a position. This is why I'm asking for you to support this bylaw. Je vous demande donc de voter en faveur de ce règlement aujourd'hui et de pouvoir continuer la discussion dès demain. Merci.
Merci. Alors, merci, M. Fazier. Si vous désirez débattre de cette motion, de ce règlement, je vous demanderai de lever vos cartons rouges. If you would like to have a debate on this bylaw, please raise your red voting card. So it looks like we will be going straight to the vote. All those in favor of the bylaw, please raise your card. All those against, the bylaw is adopted. We will now move on to bylaw number 3. May I have a representative of the sponsor to speak for up to 2 minutes to introduce this resolution?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. My name is David Herford from West Vancouver, Sunshine Coast, Sea to Sky Country. I'm a National Policy Secretary for the Liberal Party of Canada. I want to thank the organizers for such a great convention, and personally Anna Gainey for her tremendous service as president to our party. It's my pleasure to be here this evening to introduce Bylaw 3, the process of policy consultation and development. It was my honor and pleasure to work very closely with all of my provincial territorial commission counterparts, as well as representatives from the National Caucus and other interested registered Liberals to develop this bylaw since our last convention. We wanted to demonstrate the key role that EDAs, PTBs, and commissions play in engaging people in our policy process. We also wanted to make a very strong commitment to being open and inclusive. The bylaw you're asked to consider today does all of that. It allows us to be flexible, to try out new technologies, to adopt to where we are in an electoral cycle, to listen to Liberals and put in a process that reflects your input. It does this by requiring the National Policy Committee to put together a policy process for each national convention. The process leading up to this convention was one of the most open and innovative processes the party has ever seen. And as new opportunities emerge, we can expand. There are a few other things I'd like to highlight quickly about the bylaw. The National Policy Committee discussed the concept of how long a policy should remain policy once it's been prioritized by a convention plenary. In the old Constitution, there was no clear mechanism. This bylaw states that a prioritized resolution will remain party policy for a period of 8 years from the date of the National Convention, and we've asked the Policy Committee to establish a democratic process for the renewal of these policies. And we've also established a new requirement to consult with the Indigenous Peoples Commission when a proposed resolution that deals primarily with Indigenous peoples comes forward. I want to thank all of you for your ongoing participation in the process, and I hope you'll support this bylaw. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Herford. Again, I will ask if the room would like to have a debate on this motion. All those who would like to see a debate, please raise your red card. All those, well, it's obvious that we don't want a debate at this moment on this particular resolution, so we'll ask for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your red card. All those against, the motion passes. We will now move on to bylaw number 4 on registered Liberals. May I have a representative of the sponsor to speak for up to 2 minutes to introduce the bylaw?
So it's me again, Sébastien Fassier from Laurier-Sainte-Marie and Vice President of the party. Je suis ici pour vous demander d'appuyer le règlement numéro 4 sur les règles régissant les conditions d'inscription à titre de libéral inscrit. L'inscription en tant que libéral vise à rendre notre parti plus ouvert et à limiter les obstacles qui limitent l'implication des Canadiens. C'est peut-être le changement le plus important apporté par notre Constitution lorsqu'elle a été adoptée à Winnipeg en 2016. Registration lasts for 3 years. I know a lot of people are asking, how do we got to this number? When we sent out the bylaw survey in 2016, we asked you how long registration should be valid for, and you were split. But we saw very strongly that you believed it should fall somewhere between 2 and 5 years. After discussion within the National Board, we landed on 3 years. But we also heard that as long as a registered Liberal is actively engaging with the party, their status should not expire. And so we are looking for points of contact where we can renew and therefore extend registration. As an example, every single one of you have either registered or extended your registration as a Liberal for another 3 years just by being here in Halifax for this convention. And I thank you for that. I won't dwell on all the housekeeping items in the bylaw. Those of you who have been involved with the party for some time now will recognize that a lot of what's in the bylaw is similar to what was previously required in our membership rules. Merci encore d'appuyer ce règlement si important à l'efficacité de notre parti. Thanks in advance for ratifying this bylaw and helping us build the most open, innovative, and effective political movement in Canadian history. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur Fazier. Alors, si vous désirez débattre de cette résolution, je vous demanderai de lever vos cartons rouges. If you would like to debate this resolution, please. Okay, I guess we're going to move straight to the vote. All those in favor? All those against? The bylaw passes. I would now like to move on to bylaw number 5, dealing with conventions. I invite Suzanne Cohen, the authorized representative of the sponsor, to come to the microphone and speak to the motion. But before that, I'd like to congratulate Suzanne on her election and say that we all look forward to working with her as she brings us to the next election.
Thank you very much. My name is Suzanne Cowan in Parkdale High Park and the outgoing Vice President English of the LPC and incoming President of the LPC. I hope everyone's enjoying the convention. It's been a really amazing few days. John Gillis and his amazing team and the federal team have done a wonderful job, and I hope to see you all on Argyle Street tonight for the street party. There, John, I did it. But I hope you're having a wonderful convention. I have had amazing experiences at conventions for the past many, many years. And so I'm happy to put forward the convention bylaw, which is pretty simple. The National Board will organize conventions as stated in the Constitution. Any registered Liberal may attend a convention as long as they've paid the fees and they show up. As long as you're a registered Liberal by the cutoff date, and if it's a provincial convention that you're registered in the right province, you're eligible to vote. That's it. So conventions are open to all registered Liberals who want to participate, and I think that new initiative that we've put in place for this convention has really shown how amazing it's been. We've had, half the delegates here have never been to a convention before, and I feel pretty strongly that that's because we eliminated this two-step process that you had to do in order to come and participate. So with that, I'd like to thank you all for attending, and I hope you'll vote in favor of this bylaw.
Thank you very much. Est-ce que vous désirez débattre de la résolution? Si oui, levez vos cartons rouges, s'il vous plaît. If you'd like a debate on this resolution, please hold up your red cards. So we'll be moving to straight to the vote. Those in favor? Those against? It's good to see that everyone's in favor of conventions. This is a good thing, with good reason. We move on now to bylaw number 6. Ms. Cohen, again, please.
Hi, everybody. Suzanne Cowan, Parkdale High Park, incoming president, outgoing VP. The election bylaw is one of the most innovative bylaws that we're asking you to consider today. This bylaw creates a brand new position, which is the National Returning Officer. The National Returning Officer is responsible for overseeing all electoral processes in the country. She appoints and delegates to conventions and local returning officers to act at the individual meetings. In addition, no matter where you are in the country, if you want to be a member of an EDA board of directors, the process is simple. No more kind of complicated loopholes, and this is an important step, I think, to making our party more open and accessible. By the same token, the process is more consistent with that of the provincial boards and commissions. We know that EDAs have had to learn a new process, and that hasn't always been easy, so I on behalf of the board, would like to thank you all for your participation in that and your patience, and I think we're seeing a lot of good success on that, and I just want to thank you very much for working with us on that. I also want to acknowledge the National Board is consistently listening, and we're always looking for feedback. I always say that feedback is a gift, and we truly believe that that it's very important to understand what's happening on the ground, and so that it's this feedback loop in a continuous way. So earlier this year, when we were talking about this at the board meeting, I raised an amendment to this bylaw to allow nominations from the floor at the EDA level in case of a vacancy at an EDA AGM. And this was because what I was speaking about earlier, about the one-size-fits-all solution. Some ridings have a huge amount of people that are there and willing to participate, but some other ridings, they have trouble finding the people, or people, busy lives, didn't manage to get names for all the positions, and you don't want to have to come back to it at a later date. So what we're proposing is that if a vacant position, and at the EDA meeting itself, if there's a vacant position, meaning no one that has submitted an intent to vote 14 days ahead of time, the chair can ask the floor if someone's interested in that position.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that you will vote in favor of this bylaw today, and that we can move forward. And I think the important part of these bylaws, which I know we all know, is that they do have flexibility. Because we've removed a lot of this from the Constitution and put it in bylaws, it really can be more flexible to the feedback. So I hope you'll vote in favor of this bylaw. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would you like to debate the bylaw? If so, please raise your red card. Okay, well, we will be going straight to the vote. Those in favor? Those against? The bylaw passes. Bylaw number 7, dealing with responsibilities. Bylaw number 7, dealing with responsibilities, rules, and procedures for the National Board and Management Committee. I would invite Suzanne Cohen to again speak to the resolution.
Hi, Suzanne Cowan, Parkdale Hyde Park, VP, incoming president. Bylaw 7, this is the last one for me, I promise. The National Board and Management Committee is an important governance document that outlines the procedures for the board and the management committee in holding meetings, passing resolutions, and conducting its business.
Sorry, yes?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, is somebody signaling something?
Sorry, this is we're speaking to this one now.
Yeah.
Right.
Number 7.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no good. Sorry, Bylaw 7 is the National Board bylaw, Management Committee bylaw, and it's the government's document for the procedures of the board and the Management Committee. This bylaw holds our National Board and Management Committee to the same standards as EDAs and PTBs and commissions. Many of the provisions are the same across the bylaws. I think it's particularly important to highlight the conflict of interest provisions. With a 2/3 vote, the board may require a member to recuse themselves from a conversation or a vote if there is conflict of interest. This allows board members to hold each other to account. Other provisions, calling for meetings, quorum for meetings, and holding votes, none of this is a surprise. It's what's in other levels. But it's extremely important for the governance of our organization that it be written down. Therefore, I once again ask for your support on this bylaw.
Merci, merci. Alors, si vous désirez débattre de la résolution, s'il vous plaît, levez vos cartons rouges. Raise your red cards if you'd like to debate this resolution. So I will call the vote. All those in favor? All those against? The resolution passes. I would now, we will now move on to resolution number 8, which deals with provincial and territorial boards. I would invite a representative of the sponsor to the mic, please, to mic number 2.
Good evening. My name is Robert Schuett, Calgary Centre. I am the chair of the Liberal Party of Canada, Alberta, and I was the chair of the PTB working group during the bylaw consultation process. Similar to what you've heard regarding the other bylaws presented today, bylaw number 8, provincial and territorial boards, is the product of a significant amount of discussion and consultation. As chair, I had the opportunity to work with registered Liberals and the chairs from across the country. During the consultation process, we reviewed all of the previous provincial or territorial constitutions and created a bylaw that allows the PTBs as much flexibility as possible while achieving the goals and purposes set out in our Constitution. Many of the provisions, especially those around meeting requirements and conflict of interest, are consistent with provisions in the National Board and EDA bylaws, holding our entire organization to the same standards. Other provisions are included to create flexibility. For example, PTBs are able to establish a management committee or other committees as they see fit. They are able to allocate directors at large to be responsible for regions or have a particular portfolio if desired. As a PTB chair, I am strongly in favor of this bylaw, and I ask for your support to ratify it today. Thank you.
Merci. Merci, monsieur. Merci, monsieur Chouette. Alors, si vous désirez débattre de la résolution, levez vos cartons rouges. Please hold up your red cards if you'd like to debate the motion. Seeing not enough red cards in the air, we will go to the vote. Those in favor? Those against? Bylaw number 8 is adopted. Nous poursuivons maintenant au règlement numéro 9 portant sur un comité permanent d'appel. J'inviterai un représentant du parrain à venir au micro numéro 2 pour nous expliquer la résolution.
Hi there, my name is Jack Siegel. I'm past Constitutional Legal Affairs Chair of the party and had the honor and burden of being Green Light Chair in the last campaign. Today I'm here as a registered Liberal from York Centre. Bylaw number 9 addresses the Permanent Appeal Committee. It's a committee that's been around since the reforms of 1990. It's a really important part of the party's governance. The bylaw makes some significant changes, modernizing how the committee works, makes it more flexible and more responsive. As always, the committee is made up of 2 co-chairs appointed by the National Board. For any given appeal, the committee appoints a panel of 3 that may or may not include either or both of the co-chairs. This does away with what we had in the past before we had an internet, before we had the communications that we have today, of having the permanent appeal chairs in each province and region having to be involved in strike panels. What we need are people today who are ready and able to form panels as needed, and to strike these panels quickly without going through hoops or dealing with possible vacancies at an intermediate level. Secondly, under the bylaw, the co-chairs now have greater flexibility to determine how to decide an appeal. In the past, every appeal required an in-person hearing. Again, in 2018, there are more effective approaches. Appeals are often highly time-sensitive, and we need the agility to be able to get matters resolved through hearings when warranted, but also through teleconferences or written submissions when that is the best approach. The process modernizes things while preserving and enhancing the 2 most crucial elements of a dispute resolution process: the right to be heard, the importance of anybody who has a grievance within our party to have their case heard, and the right to an informed decision made by a neutral decision maker. I ask for your support in ratifying the bylaw.
Thank you, Mr. Siegel. All those wishing to see a debate on the motion, please raise your cards. We will go straight to the vote. All those in favor, please raise your red cards. All those against, la résolution numéro 9 est adoptée. Alors, nous sommes rendus à la dernière des résolutions, le dernier règlement, le règlement numéro 10. Et j'inviterai un représentant du parrain à venir au micro numéro 2 pour nous parler davantage de la résolution.
Bonjour, mon nom est Sachet Mira, je suis un membre du Winnipeg Sud. Tous les Manitobains, je pense. J'aimerais commencer de remercier Prachi, Michael et Francis pour leur participation aujourd'hui et également tous les présenteurs. J'aimerais aussi faire un grand remercie à Anna Gainey pour sa direction et une grande bienvenue à Suzanne. Bienvenue. My name is Sachet Mira. I'm a member of Winnipeg South. I'm also the chair of the Federal Liberal Agency of Canada. I have just a bit of regular business in this motion. The Canada Elections Act requires all political parties to have a chief agent. Many of you who are in riding associations know that each EDA must have a financial agent, and anyone who has run a campaign knows that each candidate must have an official agent. The party is no different. The chief agent is responsible for administering and reporting the party's financial transactions. This bylaw outlines the chief agent's responsibility as required by the Canada Election Act. Simply put, it requires the chief agent to not break the law. The bylaw also deals with registered agents who are authorized to do specific responsibilities on behalf of the party. Again, this bylaw simply outlines responsibilities as required by the Canada Elections Act. Our party relies on its chief agent. While this bylaw may seem simple, it is imperative that it be ratified and hold our chief agent to the highest standard of compliance within the Canada Elections Act. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
Thank you very much. I will ask the same question as to whether you would like to debate the motion. If you would, please raise your red card. We will proceed to the vote. Those in favor? Those against? And that concludes this exercise. I just want to thank everyone for your cooperation. I guess you could say that this closes an important chapter in the implementation of our new Constitution. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Et merci à Madame Shaw et Monsieur Fernick d'être ici en avant avec moi. Bonne soirée et je sais qu'on attend les résultats, je crois. On attend les résultats.
Could I ask, sorry,
Yes.
a quick question of the legal people? If at future convention someone wants to submit or propose an amendment to the Constitution or the bylaws, who do they submit that to? I know there's a deadline 40 or 45 days before or something.
That would be prescribed in the rules of order for the convention. So there's rules of order which were adopted by the National Board and the Management Committee with respect to both constitutional amendments and bylaw amendments, and those provide where those are to be delivered to.
Do the rules of order come out before the deadline for the submission of the? I don't know if they did this
Well,
year.
I know that, for example, if you look at these particular motions, they were worked on by the National Board. Certain board members took responsibility for consulting the party and to come up with these bylaws. And of course, bylaws need to be ratified at conventions. So they were presented to this convention, and people had until Friday, yesterday, to submit amendments to the bylaws proposed by the National Board of Directors.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, well, I guess the next, we'll do you have something to add to that? No? No.
Yeah, I would simply add that amendments of the, oh, sorry about, okay. So the rules of order provide that amendments of the Constitution or any bylaw may be proposed only by the leader, the management committee, the national board, any provincial or territorial board, or any commission. So it has to go through that process.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, thank you for your cooperation, and I believe we're waiting for results of the election shortly, yeah? Thank you.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I'll go out to Alberta. Weather's good there in the fall. I got some friends that I could go to working for. Still, I wish you'd change your mind if I ask you one more time. But we've been through this 100 times or more. For strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all those things that don't change, come what may.
I'm here with Noor from Beaches East York. Noor, what's exciting for you about coming to National Convention here in Halifax?
Oh, well, it's my first time, so I'm really excited to hear like new policies and hopefully elect a new YLC executive.
I'm here with His Worship Mike Savage, Mayor of Halifax.
Hey, good
Thank
to see
you
man.
for hosting us to your fabulous city.
Welcome back to Halifax.
Thank you very much.
You know this city, right?
I do. You don't have to twist my arm to come to this fabulous part of the world.
We're so excited to be here. Suzanne Cowan, who's here somewhere, is going to be the new president.
Yes.
Halifax native.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous.
I'm here with members of the Cowan clan, all celebrating Suzanne Cowan's acclamation to becoming Liberal Party of Canada president. So I'm going to start with Mom, Sheila. What do you think about Suzanne becoming the National Party president?
I'm really excited for her. This is wonderful. This is very exciting. She's been politics all her life, and she's pretty tough. She can do it.
Well, that's needed in politics.
Three older brothers. It
That's
makes
great.
a difference.
He's always been the most politically active of all of the 4 children. Comes by it honestly. Dad is always, there was always politics discussed at the table, so very exciting.
Ici avec l'honorable Diane Le Boutelier, députée pour Gaspésie, l'île de la Madeleine.
Île de la Madeleine.
Île de la Madeleine. Et une journée, il va falloir que j'aille pour fierté. Mais aujourd'hui, on parle de vous, comme députée québécoise, comme fière personne de notre parti. Qu'est-ce que ça signifie pour vous, ce congrès ici à Halifax en 2018?
Ben, écoutez, pour moi, ce congrès-là est vraiment important parce que c'est l'occasion de pouvoir rencontrer les gens des associations partout à travers le Canada, d'entendre ce que nos partisans, nos bénévoles, nos gens qui sont impliqués dans le milieu, le travail qu'ils veulent que le parti fasse avec eux. Donc, c'est une fin de semaine pour moi qui est extraordinaire. Des échanges puis des discussions.
Tell me, what are your hopes for the city having 3,000 Liberals in your backyard for a weekend?
I want people to have a lot of fun. I get a bit of a history with the Liberal Party, which I'm not ashamed of, and Halifax is doing really well. So what you see here in this new convention centre and outside here, and where they're going to have Liberal House.
Yes.
The city's alive and it's popping and it's getting younger. Not many cities getting younger, but we're getting younger and cooler. And this is diversity and inclusion in the city of Halifax. That's what we live for right here.
Well, I really want to get one of those pins, so let me know where I can get one of those pins.
I want you to know something. These are very hard to come by, okay?
Oh, well, now I'm honored. I'm honored.
I'm pinning.
Oh, I get the pin.
Randy
I get the
Boissonnault
pin.
right here.
From His Worship. I'm going to keep this special pin. Dernière question. Quels sont vos conseils à toutes les femmes, les jeunes femmes et les filles qui, une journée, pensent aller en politique? C'est quoi vos conseils?
Allez-y. Posez-vous pas la question 2 fois. Dès la première fois, c'est parce que vous êtes prête à faire le saut. Puis, allez-y.
L'honorable Diane Le Boutelier, merci bien et bon congrès. So I'm here with Mayor Savage once again, who put this on me, and so now I'm turning around and giving him our first ally pin for diversity and inclusion for the Liberal Party of Canada, which we are now handing out. Look at that, ally, LEA, coast to coast to coast.
Isn't that cool?
Fear of the world beyond our borders. Fear of each other. Well, let me tell you something. Fear makes us weak, not strong. The Prime Minister's job is to bring Canadians together, not to tear us apart. C'est assez d'un gouvernement qui ne nous écoute pas, qui ne nous comprend pas. C'est assez d'un gouvernement qui a une vision étroite de ce que ce pays peut être et doit être. C'est assez d'un premier ministre qui mise toujours sur la division et la peur plutôt que de rassembler et de rassurer. C'est assez. I have confidence in Canada and in Canadians. We have won tougher fights and solved greater problems in the past than we face today. The people who built Medicare and the Canada Pension Plan are not afraid of doing the hard work it will take to strengthen the middle class and lift Canadians out of poverty. On a toujours été prêt à investir dans notre avenir, à bâtir ensemble. Ben, il est temps qu'on s'y mette. Il est temps que le Canada redevienne le pays de nos ambitions. And let me tell you, my friends, we are the one country in the world that is strong, not in spite of our differences, but because of them. Now, that didn't happen by accident, and it won't continue without leadership. Leadership that works hard every minute of every day to bring Canadians together.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Herford, National Policy Chair. Veuillez accueillir David Herford, le secrétaire national des politiques.
Good evening, delegates. It's my pleasure to announce the results of the voting for the policy resolutions. Again, we had 20 in the plenary session. We needed to come out with 15. These 15 resolutions will be obviously with the platform committee, but they will be, because of the bylaw you just approved, party policy for the next 8 years. So I'm going to start at number 15 and work my way up, be a little bit of a countdown. Number 15 on the voting list, the need for stable, quality jobs, the key to a stronger middle class, Resolution 29. Number 14, Canadian Environmental Bill of Rights, Resolution number 4. 13th, Reclaiming and Sustaining Canada's Healthcare System. Number 12 on the list, the National Three Oceans Policy for Security, Environmental Protection and Development. Number 11 on the list, Infrastructure and Connecting Canadians via Fixed Link. Number 10, Remote Telecommunication Infrastructure Development for Northern Remote Rural Indigenous and Non-Indigenous Communities. Number 9, End Taxation on Menstrual Products. Number 8, Affordable Housing. Number 7, a Seniors Ministry. Number 6, Implementation of a Guaranteed Minimum Income Model. Number 5, the Employee Pension Protection Strategy. Number 4, the decriminalization of consensual sex work and the sex trade. Number 3, address the opioid crisis through a public health approach. Number 2, inclusion of mental health services in Medicare and the Canada Health Act. And the number 1 resolution chosen by delegates, implementing universal access to necessary medicines. Time for pharmacare now. Thank you very much.
We will start with the Seniors Liberal Commission. The co-chair English is. Commençons par la Commission des aînés libéraux. Le poste de la coprésidence anglais sera pourvu par Doug Bridges. The acclaimed individuals to the Seniors Liberals Commission are, les candidats élus par acclamation sont co-chair French, co-président français Roger Legarret, policy chair, président des politiques Camille Tremblay, Atlantic Regional Director, directrice régionale Anne-Marie Gillis. The two positions of Young Liberals of Canada, the National Chair of Finance is la personne qui assurera la présidence du Comité national des finances est Hannah Wheeler. The national chair of the Young Liberals of Canada is la personne qui assurera la présidence des Jeunes libéraux du Canada est David Hickey. Congratulations, one and all. Other individuals who were acclaimed to the Young Liberals Board are les autres personnes qui ont été élus au sein du Conseil de direction des Jeunes libéraux sont National Vice Chair English, vice-présidente nationale anglais, Ninou Forrest. National Vice Chair French, vice-président national français, Étienne Cantal. National Chair Organization, président national du comité de l'organisation, Ray Anjoul. National Chair Membership, président national du comité des adhésions, Hasib Hassan. National Chair Policy, présidente nationale du comité des politiques, June Gleed. Women's representative to the Young Liberals, représentante des Jeunes libéraux, Sarah Thomas. And finally, the National Chair Communications, Président National aux Communications, Amarit Brar. The Indigenous Peoples Commission, Commission des Peuples Autochtones. Acclaimed are, les candidats élus par acclamation sont co-chair male, co-président Conrad Desjarlais. Co-chair female, co-présidente Susie Keys. Co-chair membership and organization, co-présidente adhésion et organisation Michelle Robinson. Co-chair organization, co-présidente organisation Rena Sinclair. Youth representative to the Indigenous Peoples Commission, représentant de la jeunesse, Commission des peuples autochtones, Delia Bernard. The National Women's Liberal Commission, Commission libérale féminine nationale, acclaimed are, les candidates élus par acclamation sont National Chair, Présidente Amy Robichaud. Policy Chair, Présidente des politiques, Judith Quinn. Communications Chair, Présidente des communications, Esmahan Razavi. Recording Secretary, Secrétaire de séance, Donna Nelson. And now to the National Board of the Liberal Party of Canada. Passons maintenant au nouveau Conseil national d'administration du Parti libéral du Canada. Your Vice President English of the National Board of the Liberal Party of Canada, la nouvelle personne responsable de la vice-présidence anglaise du Conseil est Mira Ahmed. The party secretary position for the National Board of the Liberal Party of Canada, la nouvelle personne responsable du poste du secrétaire du Conseil national d'administration est Sam Balthar Saran. The other acclaimed individuals for the National Board are les autres personnes élues par acclamation sont vice-président French, vice-président français, Elise Bartlett. Policy Secretary, secrétaire aux politiques, Omar Raza. and Presidente Suzanne Cowan. A massive thank you to all the candidates, and we welcome Suzanne Cowan.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say a really big thank you to Brian and Beatrice for all their hard work on the elections, and congratulations to everybody who ran for a position. And we're going to need all of your hope and hard work as we move forward to the next election. And congratulations to all the candidates who were successful here today. And just a personal thank you to Anna and to John for their amazing job. They've done a fantastic job chairing this meeting, co-chairs of the meeting. And John, to you personally, John was pretty adamant that this was coming to town and that we'd be able to host a fantastic event, and obviously we've been able to do that, so I hope everybody's enjoyed yourself. So John, thank you so much for all your hard work.
Congratulations, Suzanne, félicitations, and to all the newly elected members of the party. And a big congratulations to those who were not elected today, but who put their hands up to run for these positions. It's such an important part of our party that people run and discuss what these roles are for and the ideas they want to bring to the table. So please stay engaged. As Suzanne said, we're going to need everybody pulling together in the same direction to be successful in 2019.
How's everybody doing? What do you think of Halifax? It's pretty awesome, isn't it? I want to thank you all for being here. This has been a dream of Liberals in Nova Scotia for a long time, to bring a convention and to elect one of our own as president. To do it at the same time is absolutely unbelievable. So many new people here, and I want to say this with all the deepest of sincerity. You are the family, you are the voice, you are the next wave. I've been coming to these things for longer than I care to admit. This is my 13th convention, and I look out at a room full of friends, people who we've gone to war for, and we haven't done it for no reason. We've done it to elect a prime minister who's going to make real change in this country, and we need to do it again. So go home energized, pumped, and let's do it again. That's why we're here. On that note, and I see a few, my friend Darren Fisher in the front row here, something happened in 2015. There was great work done by all of you across the country, and we applaud you and thank you. But on election night, there was nothing left on the table in Atlantic Canada. It was a 32 shutout, and we're going to do it again. What rose here was a red wave. It went across the country, but you know, this is the start of the second wave of another Trudeau majority. Darren Fisher's coming back. All 32 are coming back with your help. That's going to be amazing. Just want to say a few thank yous to a lot of people. I could talk all night. The convention center staff, Janaea, they've been amazing. The party staff who have worked day and night, on and on to make this happen. Azam Ishmael, our national director. Is Azam in the room? I don't know if he's here. Azam deserves special credit for not only all the work he does, but for putting up with me when I didn't always agree with how things were going to look. So, love you, Azam, and thank you so much. Monique Trottier and Christine Breck, the convention staff, the leaders of this event. Unbelievable and tireless their work. Can we hear it for Christine and Monique? The local committee, I mean, what you've seen in the background, entertainment, trying to make sure everybody had an amazing time here. I won't drone on too much, but Doris Robbins, Coralie, Joanne McRae, Catherine, Laura, Joanne Bouchard, Mike Mercer, Marnie Bentley, to all of you, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. And I'd be remiss, as I said, I'm thrilled to be here in Halifax, speaking to a convention. Never thought it would happen. See my friend Suzanne take over as president, but we must thank Anna Gainey once more for her incredible work. She doesn't want me to do it, but can you please get on your feet for our leader, our inspiration, Anna Gainey. Thank you. So it's about time to end what we have to do here. There's a street party happening outside, I'm told. Anybody going to that? If you're tired, suck it up. You can sleep tomorrow. We're going to have a great time with Party Boots, Adam Baldwin, and Ashley McIsaac. Please have an amazing time in Halifax tonight. We're so proud that you're here, and we hope you come back again to enjoy our hospitality. Let's get out there and do the hard work again and get our Prime Minister re-elected. And with that, I officially adjourn this meeting. Thank you for coming to Halifax.